This month, Streaming Things is brought to you by Chester Copperpot, Stanton Valentino, Wendy O'Laughlin, Jason Hawkins, Matthew Amerson, Trey Barrera, Conrad, Luke and Sarah, David Malfara, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog and a Barbie Car, Jose Ruben Cruz Rodriguez, Thomas Alexander, Emmy, Joe Velez, Abby Vollmer, Valerie, Aaron Layton, John Collins, Sun Loving Mortal, Andrew Gray, Jen Robinson, Kate, Chloe Richardson, Kalisha Reeves, Kiki Newton, Kevin Strother, Jeanette Murphy, Casey McCain, and Enza.
Welcome back. My name is Chris.
My name's Madison.
The tomb is empty.
And this is Streaming Things, continuing our coverage of YELLOWJACKETS, this time season 2, episode 3, Digestif?
Digestif.
I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't do any research. There was no pronunciation key. I don't even know if that's a real word.
Let me bring up a Rosetta Stone.
Thank you. As Steve alluded to, as we record this, the tomb is empty. It is
empty
on Easter Sunday that we're talking to you now.
There was a body in there for a couple days, but now there's not. It's empty.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
What are they going to put in there now? Nobody ever addressed that part of the story. Did they reuse it?
I would like to think that
Carl and Frank were discussing, it's just wasted space if we don't put another body in there. Yeah, but what if it was the tomb that woke him up? I don't think it was. They had that argument, you think?
I think so, definitely.
100%.
Listen, guys, do we have the space to rent out or do we not? I need to know this by Saturday. I've got people who are really interested.
We could probably make some good money on this. Make it like a birthday party thing. Like, hey, you could have your celebration in the tomb.
Oh, yeah, Frank, that'll go over well. Here, kids, this is where the bodies would be placed. Take your photo.
We're like bachelor parties.
Late night raves,
Yeah. They could do lines of tits in the tomb.
We're already doing toga parties every day.
Yeah, why not?
Is
Is this offensive?
Who knows?
Maybe a little bit.
What's not offensive is just how excited I get every Easter just to yell the tomb is empty.
You do.
Into people's faces.
You dropped like 6 tomb is empty memes back to back last night.
I did.
And that's
every social media.
And I liked them all.
A lot of people who listen to the show now have not been with us that long. And this is the first Easter they've gotten to experience me on Easter.
Oh, so you were hyped.
I was hyped. I did hold back a bit because I'm like, is this too much?
Did you?
I did. I had like 14
That
more
was you
things
holding
that
back?
I put in the Instagram like, hey guys, sorry for, thanks for being with me on this ride, but the tomb is fucking empty.
And it's just begun. It's empty all day.
All day.
Well, I'm happy for you, man.
Thanks.
Steve's favorite holiday, everybody. He loves wabbits.
It's my favorite holiday tradition.
Mm-hmm. This is Lenny and George's least favorite holiday.
Yeah. Well, maybe George's favorite holiday.
Yeah.
He might like that.
I just want to pit the wabbits. Anyway, YELLOWJACKETS. But before we get to that, we've got a few things to plug. We do have a company Instagram now, a podcast official.
Official.
It is at streamingthingspod official on Instagram. Don't let those other imposters steer you astray.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any.
So be sure to follow that because that's where we're going to be dropping things like show schedules, just all the information you want in one concise place. And then we'll probably expound that information into Twitter as well. But if you're on Instagram, there's one more place to follow us and get the information you need for streaming things.
Yeah, all the hot, well, I don't know if they're hot, but behind the scenes photos. Yeah, us doing lines off tits in the tomb.
The tomb's empty.
They're behind a paywall.
You get to see merch, all the good stuff.
Yeah, as we design that, and there'll be, like Steve said, keep you apprised of all the stuff that's going on. So
we're going to be doing a photo shoot next week, so there's going to be a ton of photos coming up.
Ooh. As Misty's?
Maybe. We should
have my wig.
Let's add an hour to our photo session
At least.
and do that.
At least. I am getting my nails done this week. My first manicure, I believe, is Thursday.
You're getting a mani?
Very excited. I'm getting a mani.
I'm very upset if you don't get color.
I should, shouldn't I?
You should.
Is that how much does that cost, do you think?
I think it's the same.
Really? Just throw some pizzazz on there?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
I think so.
If I said, hey, we throw a little pizzazz on there, they'd know what I meant.
Are they just trimming and,
I don't know what wizardry these folks do.
Well, I always get color, so I don't know what that experience is like without getting color.
Like feel fresh on the cuticles. Call them cuties for short when they're done. See what I'm saying? You can also follow us on Twitter at streamingthingspod. And what else? You can email the show. We read all of those. Thank you so much for those that do that. We love reading those tidbits at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. And you can, of course, support the show financially. Thank you to everybody who does that. You are the reason that we are able to do this each week a couple of times. Patreon.com/streamingthings.
Yeah, and currently we have a poll going on for the April bonus episode poll.
The Tomb is Empty poll.
The Tomb is Empty poll, where all the candidates are tomb and or rabbit related. We've got Lara Croft Tomb Raider. We've got Raiders of the Lost Ark. We've got The Mummy. We've got Donnie Darko. We've got all things tomb related that you could want. So if you are interested in listening to an episode about either of those, become a patron at the proper tier and sign up for that.
I just want to point out that Steve would not allow me to put Passion of the Christ on the poll. And that was my dead ringer. And also, we spelled Lara Croft wrong.
I spelled Lara Croft wrong.
It's Lara Croft, but we put Lara Croft, which is like the spinoff.
Did you spell it
L-A-U-R? Yeah. Yeah.
So that's on there for all time.
Yeah, I can't edit that option without taking the poll down.
Wow.
I feel like that's why nobody's voting for it. It's because they don't know that movie.
They're like, I don't know that movie. Who's Laura?
Those are all really good movies, though.
Yeah,
they're all really good.
I think I told Steve when we made the poll, I was like, The Mummy is a sure bet.
Yes, The Mummy with the Renaissance happening right now, 100%.
Yes, and it's just a barrel of fun, and I'm excited to revisit it. It's been a while.
Yeah,
one of my most watched movies as a kid. That I said that with Twister, but it's true. This was the other one. The Mummy.
I want to see like every bonus episode we have. Chris is just going to be like one of my most watched movies as a kid.
You know, the patrons, man, they're on the pulse of Chris. On my pulse.
They know you.
Yeah.
They know you so well.
They do. What's up next week? Do you know offhand?
Like what
movie? Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it in front of me.
Because we got Grind from 2003 coming out this week. And then I'm not sure. You don't have to look it up. I was just wondering if you knew offhand.
Oh no, here it comes.
Oh.
Hold on.
Approaching. He's scrolling. He's clicking.
Stand by.
He's closing suspicious looking browser windows.
Okay, I thought this was the thing where I had it, but it's not.
The tomb is empty, and so is the list.
Is the Discord.
Hold on. Here we go. Mod Talk. It's with the mods because they asked, and I posted it. There it is. It's Tombstone, baby.
Nice.
Ooh.
And then what
Tombstone
else?
is next week, and then after Tombstone, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh
Wow.
There's a bunch of goodness in here.
Madison, you should look that list over.
Okay.
And say, hey, I would like to be on that.
Ooh, I see Silence of the Lambs on there.
I've got time on my sketch. Or if you don't, say the opposite.
I'll take a look.
No time on my sketch.
I'll take a look at it.
The fans demand more Madison.
Yeah, they do. They love you.
It's very sweet of them.
I don't know why.
Yeah, me neither. It's a shock to me.
We do have one last bit of business at the top before we move on, though, and that is, guys, we're going to be revamping the Streaming Things merch store. Well, not revamping, but there are some changes. Updating.
Monthly updates.
This is the final week you can purchase the standard Streaming Things logo t-shirt, the pink logo of the podcast, and the Any Hoozle shirt. So if you've been thinking about picking either of those two options up, this is your last week to get it. Go to the store. It's in the show notes. Wherever you're listening to, just look in the description. You can find a link that will take you to the merch store, and you can purchase one of those two shirts. They will be replaced with new shirts, hopefully to keep the merch store alive and well and healthy and new.
Throbbing.
As shiny as new.
Girthy.
Girthy. Yeah, girthy. Yep.
That's what we're saying.
Yep.
I think that's the business term.
Reborn.
Yes.
Reborn.
If you've never listened to the show before and you've made it this far, congratulations. You win a prize. More content. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Yellow Jackets episode 3. The way we do that is we'll start by going over our overall thoughts on the episode, go around the room without too many spoilers, just kind of quick and dirty. And then we'll do a play-by-play, scene-by-scene recap and go through every little morsel. And then we'll do our choice cuts, our 3 favorite moments of the episode, followed by our honeycombs, any kind of 90s Easter eggs or tidbits that we pulled out from the text, and then our buzzworthy performances, our favorite performance of the episode. And that's how this is going to work. So hold on tight, strap in, Buzz.
Hold on to your butts.
I tried
Hold on to your buzz.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
A little Jurassic Park mix with Yellow Jackets. I like that. So let's do this. It was Digestif. I don't know. I like Digestif. It's like a French thing, I guess.
Which I did look it up, and the description on Google says a drink or portion of food drunk or eaten in order to aid the digestion.
Oh, like a probiotic, perhaps? Like a Raisin Bran would be a Digestif?
Excuse me. Is an alcoholic beverage served after a meal with the intention of aiding digestion.
Oh, specific. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had those before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
It's like
I
the
didn't know
one
that's
in
what they were called. There was like, here's this drink for you. Like, all right.
but yeah, it's cocktails usually.
Oh, I was
Or
watching
any form of, like,
Sopranos, and when he was in Italy, the lady gave Tony Soprano a drink after the meal. It was an alcoholic beverage that was supposed to keep him from getting. Oh, I bet that was a digestif. Maybe it's an Italian word. I don't know. Anywho,
I don't know.
Madison, queen of streaming things.
My overall thoughts.
Yes. What were your thoughts on episode 3?
So my a few words, no context are clam chowder,
Okay.
strawberry lube, and catching TP. Those are my 3 fun things I pulled from the episode. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I think we are still in the exploratory and building suspense with some of the threads, especially Taissa's story with her reflection and this alter ego. We're still trying to figure out what the fuck's going on there. I don't think this episode in its entirety was like the best of the best, but I think it gave us a lot of really fun nugget scenes. In particular, my favorite, I think one of my favorite Shauna, I'm calling it her solo psycho Shauna scene, where she went to the garage. But overall, I think we're still in the middle ground of unpacking leftover lingering plots from season 1 and developing on the new threads, including Walter and Misty and all those fun little plots that we have coming. So, yeah.
Steve, what did you think of Digestif?
Well, you know what? This episode, I think, currently, sits as my favorite of the season thus far, at least. It was just a lot of fun. Like, this was a fun episode. Of course, we got a lot of Misty. We finally got to see Walter and you know what he's going to bring seemingly to the show, and I love that. That looks really fun. We got more Shauna being. What did you call it? Her
solo psycho Shauna scene.
Solo psycho. Yeah, that was a lot. That was really intense. And then just
we're alliteration soulmates.
I love alliteration. It's my favorite.
Mine was the Shauna shakedown.
Oh, I like yours better.
No.
The Shauna shakedown.
The Shauna shakedown. Love it.
That sounds like a move, though.
Yeah.
Gave her the old Shauna shakedown.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine Shauna as a WWE wrestler?
Oh, yeah.
Like showing up dressed as a mom, but like just.
That's a great character.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, I'm gonna get you in a cage.
Oh, brother.
How dare you steal my minivan? That's not nice of you.
Have you ever seen skin being ripped off a person before? It's really hard.
Stone Cold ET's here to get a couple cheeseburgers.
So Chris sent me a Stone Cold ET meme this week, like as if it was brand new and I've never seen it before, and I love that about you.
I was
hoping. You're like, hey man, check this out. I'm like, oh Chris, I've known about Stone Cold ET for 10 years.
Stone Cold ET, like combining Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's a guy in a White Castle drive-thru wearing an ET mask, talking like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my god!
He's at the drive-thru
and he
like,
won't
Stone Cold
stop.
ET.
And they're like, "Sir, do you want to order or not?" And he's like, "Oh, what I want to do is open up a can of whoop ass." But he's wearing this ET mask.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway,
Stone Cold ET.
I sent it to Steve and said, "Steve, this is you. I know it is." And he's like, "Oh, I love that video."
I can neither confirm nor deny that that's me.
One of you send me that. I love ET.
I will.
I want
Stone
a cup
Cold
of
Steve Austin.
cheeseburgers. I'm going to walk on down and stop a mud hole and some fries, and that's the bottom line.
The little mask just jiggling.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he's wearing the mask, but he's got like a hoodie. So like it's like
Oh
ET
my
in a hoodie too.
gosh.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
But Steve, I interrupted you.
No, sorry. You got me on a Stone Cold ET path, and I can't not address it. But yeah, this episode's a lot of fun. I love it. They're still, like you said, Madison, they're still building a lot of things towards the greater sort of, you know, what is this season going to be about?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? They're still kind of laying that groundwork.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing it really well, specifically in this episode. And I do just have to say, like, not a lot of Callie, just saying. I mean, I did like this episode a lot.
I was going to bring that up. I was like, do you like this because Callie's not?
She's asleep. And he's like,
the whole time she's asleep.
And I do, like, real quick, man, our discussion of Callie last week really hit a fever pitch in the Discord.
Oh, really?
Like apparently, like during the watch party with the patrons watching this episode, there's like a big hashtag team Callie, hashtag not team Callie, or team
That's exciting.
Hashtag Callie sucks. And there was
say
like
that the Callie haters need a way more catchy name.
Yeah, they really
hashtag not team Callie.
I'm not their representative. Maybe they have a better name.
Sure.
There you go.
But yeah, that was the closest time I think it's ever been where I'm like watching the Discord, like, hey guys, it's okay.
Oh, got heated, huh?
Not like super bad, but it was the only time where I'm like, I gotta watch this just to make sure it doesn't boil over.
I stabbed a guy with a trident.
It's passionate.
Yeah,
passionate about Callie.
It's crazy what teenagers do to us, you know.
Mm-hmm. I will say I was a little obsessed with the actress who plays Callie this past week. I like looked her up on Pinterest and, you know, I was just like, oh, what else has she been in? And like looked at her IMDb and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Chris, what did you think of the episode?
I got a hot take, guys.
What's that?
I don't know if it is or not. I think this is the best episode of the season so far. I loved it so much. I
just said that.
I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Yeah, this is Steve's favorite.
I heard you say I loved it. I was in Stone Cold ET mode.
I'm begging you to listen to the show.
Let me start over. I got a hot take, guys.
Chris just doesn't listen to you, Steve.
I got a hot take.
I mean, I get that. Yeah.
My hot take is I agree with Steve, which I know.
Hot take.
Whoa.
Hot take.
Hashtag Steve is always right.
Yep. That's a creative hashtag.
I'm with you, man. And it's solely because of Elijah Wood and Christina Ricci. I mean, I want a spinoff of their Citizen Detective show so badly. Please greenlight that. Producers of Yellow Jackets, I know you listen very closely. This is all I want. This is all I want. I will sell so many Showtime subscriptions for you. I'll go door to door old school style, like I'm selling cable, but it'll just be a Showtime subscription and pitch it with Elijah Wood's cutout standing next to me. I think that they're so great together. The genius of that casting, like, and I never saw it because I'm a dum-dum. Like I talked before about like Shannon Sossaman and people that I had thought about. Like Elijah Wood is the perfect addition to this show, and it never occurred to me. And to put him with Misty Quigley of all people, like it's so good, and I want more of it. I adore it. I love it. The Taissa stuff is interesting to me. Like Madison brought it up, and I feel like it's weird because they're clearly leaning into the fact that the malevolent spirit of the wilderness is what's bringing about her, like she has an entire other entity living inside her is what they're leaning toward now, right? Like that's what the blackouts are. But also there's the man with no eyes that's been with her since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
So she had some kind of supernatural thing that the wilderness beast, the spirit seems to be exacerbating.
The Sam Raimi beast?
Yeah.
Raimi ghost.
And it feels to me like they didn't plan this initially and now they're trying to like run with it, which is what, shows do, right? Yeah. But you can tell. I don't hate it, but I'm like, I can tell you didn't know you were going where you're going now.
I've been watching a couple of press interviews with the cast, and somebody asked about the man with no eyes, in the context of it was, who is the man with no eyes? And Jasmine Savoy Brown was like, I don't know. Tell the producers to tell me. So I'm a little.
I don't think they know.
Yeah, so I'm a little nervous that we won't get an answer for that this season, or maybe she was bluffing. I have no idea. But
she is an actor.
It's been it's been a subject of conversation amongst the press tour.
I feel like we're not theorizing enough. Right. In the sense that like I see other people's videos on TikTok, and I I read some forums and stuff accidentally.
And you think we're dropping the ball on theories?
Well,
theory crafting?
I don't think we are, because their theories are ass. and like we at least have saved.
Just to on the other people.
Well, I know I saw these two podcasters, and I watched this like 3-minute video on how Lottie's cult camp with the purple people is built on the grounds of where the plane crashed. And then at the end of that, and I read the comments and everybody was like, it's in New York. Like it says that. And like everybody was so mad.
I will say and
I was like, whew, dodged a bullet.
My mom watched the show and is watching the new season, and she made that connection. She was like, oh, is that on the same ground as the plane crash? I'm like, Suzanne.
Does your mom have a podcast?
Suzanne.
No.
So I'm sorry for making fun of her.
No. I just was like, Mom, come on.
But we did get an email last week.
Can Suzanne come on the show? Can we get Suzanne on?
Sure.
All right. I'm all about that.
Get Suzanne on.
Let's get her. That would be a huge get for streaming.
Yeah, she's hard to book.
Yeah.
That talent.
She's busy reading her Nora Roberts books. So
I wanted to read an email last week and I didn't. I ran out of time. And I should have, because this person who wrote in, his name is Mike.
Hi, Mike.
From New Hampshire, though he had nothing to do with Travis's death. That's what he said. He said one of the things among many in his theories was that I believe Randy is the guy living at the motel for the past 3 months. The guy who Walter set up the FBI interrogation that he's invited Misty to. Randy knows the truth that Jeff was behind the ransom money blackmail ploy, not Adam, which would push into the light that Shauna has lied to the rest of the women when she made them an accessory to murder. This could drive a wedge between the adult Yellow Jackets and be just the push he needs to expose the truth of what happened in the 90s. He said a lot of other things that also came true, but I thought that was impressive, right? Like a very good call on the Randy thing. And while
way to go, Randy,
that event did not come to fruition the way that Mike predicted, I think it still could. That's a plausible thing a thread that could be pulled to drive a wedge between the adult women.
He mentioned it to Walter saying, oh, is this about Jeff? And Walter's like, no, because they were interrogating him about Natalie. But I think, Misty did hear that. And so I'm sure there's something that could, and Misty's super, what's the word? Nosy. So I'm sure she'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a funny moment where he's like really nervous thinking it's about Jeff because he did something wrong there. And then he's like, oh, this is about Natalie? I don't know. She's probably doing drugs or something. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, my overall thoughts, completely ignoring Steve, is that I think it's amazing. And I'm the only one here that said that. So
I'm going to give it to you.
Love this.
I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. I still think my
I feel
favorite
like you
episode.
need it more than I do.
I still think my favorite episode was number 1. And I think that's just from the built of suspense. And I was insanely hyped throughout the whole thing. Not that I haven't been hyped for number 2 and number 3. But
it's very consistent quality. And it's not like a race where it's like, oh, for sure. It's just like they're all like,
yes. Teetering like.
And tottering even.
Yeah. Teetering.
I
Yes.
can't wait for the episode that teeters the totter.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm so excited.
And the tomb is empty. This is wild.
Wow.
But let's dive in, guys, shall we?
Let's do it.
Head first.
No reason. No return. In 1996 is where we start. And it's the coach. It's Coach Ben Scott that we got some action with, right? Some old TV lines, like digital effect that they did because he's going in and out of like memories / fantasies of his boyfriend, Paul.
We meet Paul.
We did get to meet Paul.
Finally.
And we get reminded how horrified the coach was that they were all eating Jackie. They were having a snacky, if you will. I forget what. Paul was cooking
clam chowder
for Chowderfest. Was it like a thing?
It was the Bowman family Chowderfest.
Yes.
So I guess Paul's family, they're real chowderheads.
Huge event.
Yeah, and he was goddamn it, he's gonna win, and he didn't put any cumin in this at all.
No, you don't put cumin in clam. What kind of asshole puts cumin in clam chowder?
Yeah,
I always thought it was pronounced cumin. And then they start making out. What? And they start making out. Meanwhile, Jackie's corpse is out there kind of thawing and dripping. I don't know what's going on because it was cooked, but it's some drippage. And the girls are all kind of hungover from feasting upon the flesh of their friend.
I mean, I get it. Have you guys ever like been so hungry late at night and you raid the fridge and you eat way too much food and then you wake up the next morning like, oh man, I feel so American right now. Yeah. USA.
It's essentially the hangover after you eat a big Thanksgiving dinner. That's what I related it to.
I really wish this scene was missing one thing, and that was just a shot of like, I don't know, probably little Misty, just like, or Van just kind of like sitting on a sitting on a table, like undoing the
rubbing their
top
stomach
button on their pants, like, oh, I need some more room. Oh, I'm
Watching
so
some
full.
football.
Yeah, how's the game?
There's like a line of all of them with Tupperware, and they're putting little Jackie in the Tupperware bins.
Yeah.
'Cause what's better than when eating it fresh? The sandwiches the next day.
The leftovers.
Yeah, but Jackie doesn't reheat well.
It's true.
A little soggy in the middle.
And Natalie's out on the porch staring at the corpse, and Taissa comes out and she's like, so what's up? Like she's so, at first I didn't know what was about to happen. So I thought it was so weird. She was like, so, and then she's like, what's that? Oh my gosh. Right. And I like to think that she was making it up. Like, you know, like the only way that she could like live with herself and face the others. If she's like, what'd you guys do? Exactly.
Like pinning blame.
Yeah. And then she like burps.
I didn't fucking do this. It's just the coffin flop.
And then my face. Yeah.
I didn't do any of this.
I didn't do
had nothing
shit.
to do with it. I didn't do shit.
Van is like, chill. She was delicious.
You ate her face.
That's
Fucking ate her face.
Why would she say that to calm her down?
I know.
She's so mad. Like, no, like, you know, it's like the morning after an orgy and your significant other is like, you guys fucked? And no, you were in there. You were skiing, you know, like you're mad. You feel like, are you judging me right now? It was your idea.
I do think it's funny just how like half of the girls are like kind of traumatized by what they did,
Yeah.
and the other half are just kind of like da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, like Mari, right?
We were
Was
hungry.
Was Mari the one? Yeah, she was kind of nonchalant about the whole thing.
Anybody want breakfast?
Why you guys are being such bitches right now? Jackie sucked.
I made Jackie grits.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but that opening scene with Taissa was kind of jarring, to be honest. I was like, wow, I took it as a traumatic response to what had happened.
Sure. And she does frequently become a different person.
Yes. And so I was kind of on this fence of like, was this trauma or was this, because she kind of alludes to this idea, oh, it wasn't me. It had to be this other person.
It could have been Mirror Taissa.
Yeah. But then Van was like, no, like you talked to me.
Yeah, but Mirror T talks now.
Correct. Yeah. So
That could be true. So she like legit
learning.
didn't do it. That'd be a good, I actually kind of like that character idea because it's very uncharacteristic of Taissa to be,
yeah.
you know, chowing down like that without
And
any
to kind
kind
of
of.
take part in the almost fantasy that they all kind of took part in, how it was viewed as like this big epic Olympian feast, you know?
Sure.
That doesn't seem like in line with Taissa's character to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, girls.
Well, and you got to think too, they were awoken by the smell.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it very well could have been this trance that Ty was already
nighttime.
in.
Sleepy
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Nighttime tie.
Nighttime tie.
CPT.
Sleepy tea.
Oh, that's a decent nickname.
Sleepy time tie.
That's a decent nickname.
The alliteration.
Yeah, but Taissa was pulling her Austin Powers. You know that scene where he's getting on the airplane and they pull out the penis pump?
That's not me.
That's not
my
mine,
bag,
baby. And then one book entitled "That Is My Bag, Baby" by Austin Power. Anyway, that's what it reminded me of.
You ate her face.
Yeah, and then Mari does say,
Did what was that? Was it Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen? There's that Optimus Prime line like, "Give me your face." Like,
and Mari says, "Yeah, I guess no one wants breakfast," which is really funny. She's like making jokes and stuff. Natalie says that they should move her. And the coach says, yeah, that'd be a good idea. Put her in the plane. Then everybody will just think she died with the rest of them. Even though really you guys ate her. He didn't say that, but that was left unsaid.
it was
Yeah.
implied.
Everybody knew it was coming.
It was implied. He's not doing well.
He's hungry.
He's the only one who hasn't eaten,
Yeah, poor bastard.
Yeah.
and now he's scared that everyone's gonna eat him.
Yeah, Travis later.
Yeah.
What's your problem? Are you all right?
You're acting weird, dude.
Jeez.
First, you didn't eat the delicious meal we had last night. We all noticed your absence.
My brother's dead. All right. I got laid.
My stomach's full.
Yeah.
I got laid.
What are you doing?
Yeah, man. Come on.
I just had Jackie and I'm about to have sex. It's the best day of my life.
Back in 2021. Wait, he had sex with Jackie too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that night.
But it just occurred to me.
Yeah.
He's like on a whole other level.
He's double dipping.
Yeah.
Oh my
He ate
god.
Jackie twice.
Oh no. Oh man.
Oh no.
Honestly, Travis is just having a great time, really. He's getting boners left and right.
Yeah.
He's eating right, you know?
I never want to be rescued. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
He's popping boners left and right, and he's eating right. That's all you need, baby. That's all you need.
That's all you need, man.
Heaven. Back in 2021, Lottie's running her seminar thing. Natalie's curious now. She's starting to warm up. She's peeking through the window like, hey, I kind of want to do the downward facing dog with Lottie, but I'm too cool for that. And then she sees antlers on, I think that's Lottie's quarters, like her, like.
You mean Charlotte's quarters?
Charlotte. She goes
I
by
hate when they
Charlotte now.
refer to her as Charlotte.
It throws me
so
off.
Weird.
I never recall that Lottie is
so
a nickname for Charlotte.
Last week I accidentally misnamed what the woman that Nat stabbed. I wrote her name down.
Lisa? Is it Lisa?
I have it written down later, but like I thought they were referring to her when they said Charlotte because. And it was one of those things like someone emailed us. It was like, oh, actually, Lottie is short for Charlotte. I'm like, oh, I fucking knew that. We've talked about Lottie's name being Charlotte. Why did I go there? So thank you for whoever wrote it.
I call her Fork Face until I find her name later in this episode.
I thought it was Lisa, and maybe I'm just making that shit up.
It could be.
I have no idea.
Lisa.
Fork Face. She'll always be that to me.
Fork Face.
But they have a charged encounter because she's still angry about being stabbed with a fork.
It is Lisa Madison.
Ooh.
It is Lisa.
Haha.
And she beheads a chicken. She tries to do it menacingly, but Natalie snaps back. You're doing it wrong, basically, right? You got your hand too close to that chicken.
Like, you're not a Shauna. Get your shit together.
You suck.
But I do like how Lottie's house, bungalow, whatever you call that, is adorned with the antlers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping the imagery of Lottie possibly being the antler queen.
And I think it's nice that, you know, that if that is true, it lends to the fact that she still kind of sees herself that way or has like fond memories of it.
It's like when you have a letter jacket.
Yeah.
But she just has antlers.
A yellow jacket, if you will. Taissa has a nightmare. She's in the hospital.
What's new?
Right. The last time we saw them.
Her existence is a walking nightmare at this point. That poor woman.
So now I think it's confirmed. She became Mirror Taissa in the car, not sleeping.
Sleepy time Ty?
Sleepy time Ty came in the middle of the day and purposely hurt Simone. Simone's like on a ventilator and shit. It's not good.
Yeah.
And she's got that wound on her hand.
She ran the red light, but the other guy was speeding. So
supposedly,
that's what the traffic cams say.
Right into Simone's side of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And there's that rune on the palm of her hand. And the nurse is very clueless. She's like, this is cute.
What does this mean?
Oh, that's sweet.
It's entirely appropriate to be drawing on your ICU bedridden loved one with, what is it, eyeshadow? I like this.
Oh, my. I'm sure that happens somewhat regularly, though, right?
A circle triangle man? Yeah.
Maybe not like a circle triangle man, but like...
just finding
like
weird symbols on patients in hospitals?
Or just
I don't think you're supposed to graffiti them. It's not like they're in a cast
or like
and you sign it.
The number 8 =, capital D.
Like you're just in the ICU on the ventilator and I draw them. She comes in for your sponge bath. And I'm just drawing a dick on your face, like, oh, you know.
Well, I'm sure she would appreciate if it was on my face.
Passed out first.
Sir, get out.
He's going to think it's so funny if he makes it.
Why are you back here?
We asked you to leave, sir.
It's true. We cut to Misty. She's going to meet with Walter, a.k.a. Puts the Sick in Forensics. And I was confused by this location at first because at first it's like there's hangars and docks. I was just confused. They look like hangars. Maybe they're like boat hangars. Maybe I missed the water. But anyway, it's like what's
like the marina?
Marina, yes.
How there were like hangars for you think planes?
You think planes? I don't like how
sorry, that sounded
patronizing you said
I'm
that.
so sorry. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Filled with buildings that house you think planes.
I'm so sorry.
They could be water planes, bats.
You're right.
The kind with the.
I can't even think of what you're referring to when you say hangars.
She knows. So,
okay.
She thinks it's dumb, but she knows how I would get there.
No, I see. I understand. I'm sorry.
They're like, you ever play Call of Duty Warzone? You get into the airport level. They're giant like oblong shaped buildings.
Oh, like a building hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason my mind went
like a coat hanger.
Like a coat hanger.
Oh, so you're dumber than me. This is like this is a scale.
Yeah, people can store their boats on
No.
land in those.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
so
you can.
For you think planes?
So sorry.
No, that was fair. Fair question. I was just walking you through my process for the establishing shot. I was like, huh?
Okay.
Oh, a boat, you know? I should have left that. I should have deleted that. When more was revealed, I can backspace. I
love how that's your note.
Yeah, my note, Misty, hangers and docks, confused. I take note of my mental state as we go. Anyway.
I think the establishing is appropriate for the marina.
Sure.
The building there is appropriate. It should be there.
Yeah, boats go in there. Duh.
My note was very different from yours. Mine was a song lyric, but with Misty in it. Just Misty in the dock on the bay.
Okay.
I love it.
Watching the tide roll away. Oh.
I love it.
I need to
Sing that
write
for
down
me.
my stream of consciousness thoughts more often.
You should.
'Cause
It's fun.
My notes are nothing like that.
Your notes have like graphics and organization.
My notes talk to me in an earpiece.
in a Taissa kind of way.
We shared
Yeah.
that photo of your notes on the Instagram, and someone was like,
Yeah.
so detailed.
that actually makes me so happy. Please compliment my notes more.
I was like, that is not what mine look like. But Walter's a huge fan of Misty's. He manufactured all of this so that he could meet the great,
Misty Quigley.
what is her username?
African Gray.
yeah.
The
African
great
Grey.
African Gray. Walter Tattersall. She figured out his name, right? They have
I love how Walter is the seafaring version of a prepper. Because he's
Sure.
like, international waters, baby. You never know when you need to leave without a sans passport.
Is that true that people that have boats that are big enough could just go to Europe?
I mean, no, because if
No.
There's
like,
got to be some kind of customs
Well, that-
or like
well,
to
that-
arrive.
well, I think in theory, probably, but like in a boat like that, he's not
No
getting
way.
to Europe.
No way.
I don't think so. I'm not a seafarer. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't know a boat like that is going to get to Europe.
Tom Hanks made
No.
it miles with just a soccer ball and a tarp on some like aluminum
Wood.
siding. Yeah. So anybody,
Sure.
and that's real.
That's real.
I saw the documentary. It was
Dead ass.
sad.
That's real.
Dead ass. FedEx, baby. He's a huge fan of hers. They have some back and forth. And we find out very quickly the witness is fucking Randy. And she has to hide into the
Randleberry.
boat real quick.
That was a good reveal. I that stumped me. I didn't predict that.
It only didn't me because of that email. I would have been. I was nowhere near that morsel and that nugget of truth.
But that the fan that emailed, that's a good way to stir things up with the adult.
Yes,
Um,
I think that
yeah.
thread is going to continue. I don't think we've seen the last of Randy. I think that
No.
even though he's not correct fully yet, I think he might be. But she decides, hey, he can't
Are
see
we
me.
doing theories and predictions?
Wait,
Just if we're going to be wrong?
yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I predict Randy's going to be accidentally killed this season.
Okay.
I have
like
no
that.
evidence to back it up.
Yeah,
I just got
you just
my gut.
you just have a feeling.
I don't hate that. Randy sucks.
A little bit.
I could see them accidentally killing him and it's like, oh, Randy. Because now he's getting way more screen time. This character that I did not think we were going to give any screen time last season, but he's already popping up and now he's like this linchpin to
Perhaps.
possibly, revealing the blackmail scheme to the other
Could have been a
modern day
one-off.
girls. It could have been, yeah.
Like, we could never see Randy again, conceivably.
We could never see Walter again, conceivably.
Oh, don't you say that. You shut your dirty whore mouth. Walter's a saint. So she decides, hey, I'm going to feed you questions because he can't see me. He knows me. I went to high school with him, right? And we cut back to, right from there, back to Shauna and Jeff, I believe. And that's when he's telling the story of the strawberry lube. And when he says that, the waitress just turns around. She's going to
That was fun.
She was going to bust the table.
Oh, yeah, that was really funny.
Not now. I think they're talking about something important.
You said, never mind. Bye.
And so he's telling the story about what went wrong with their marriage. The point he can pinpoint is when she suggested that they use strawberry lube. And he said, no, that's for bisexuals and goths, which are the coolest people. That's
They
a
are.
good reason to use the lube. And he said, no, it was a fork in the road in our relationship. I could have gone strawberry. But that's why you fucked the artist dude, because I'm boring, right? He blames himself. And she said that it's not his fault. It has nothing to do with that, which is kind of not true. But she says that, she liked not knowing what was going to happen. It was exciting with Adam, even though she says that might be the strong word. So after the wrong word. So after they leave the restaurant, Jeff tries to be spontaneous and he just busts it to the left.
By going to
Colonial Williamsburg,
Virginia.
Have you been there?
No.
I have been there.
We went on a field trip in elementary school to Williamsburg.
Oh, you went to a field trip?
Yeah.
Oh, I only went because my stepdad at the time pulled a Jeff and was like, you guys want to go Williamsburg? Colonial Williamsburg?
What?
Ooh.
Get in the van, everybody.
How long of a drive is that?
I don't know. It was
has
a while.
to be long.
It was like a 10-hour drive at least.
Yeah.
I would say I'm
long.
out, Captain.
Well,
My Game Boy Color doesn't have enough batteries.
I was like, I don't know, 9 or something. I was not of age where I could be like, no, sir.
Did you sound like Oliver Twist at that age?
I did.
Please,
I
don't want to go to Williamsburg.
Not Virginia.
I sounded like Oliver Twist up until 26. So. I got my driver's license, sir, please.
Yeah, I don't what is it? I've never.
It's just an old colonial town that's kind of been
it's
maintained.
set up like a pilgrim town.
Oh.
Yeah, you go there like, this
Okay,
is
Jeff.
how. And it's kind of
Turn
like.
butter.
Right.
The one cool thing is at least when I went, they had like an old, one of those old ships that like they would use to like sail over here. So that was still intact and you can get on that. That was kind of cool to see the ship.
Okay.
But like, yeah, they still have like the cobblestone streets and there's actors walking around like, oh, pray tell, what is that magical device in your hand? It's like Ren Fair, but like more educational, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got to burn a witch when I went. So that
Oh,
was
you
cool.
did?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Which was fun.
Did you eat her afterwards?
We didn't eat her, but it was cool because nobody liked that. She was like the worst chick in our class. So.
Wow.
Oh, so it was a child in class.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt.
I got better.
I got better.
You ever churn butter, Chris?
Oh boy. Have I ever. So he almost hits a guy when he's excited to get to Williamsburg, right? I guess his plan was like, hey, I'm going to get some roadhead all the way down to Pilgrim Town. But no, he almost hits a guy. He gets out of the car.
You want to polish this Plymouth Rock for me?
You really want to churn some butter?
Hop on the Mayflower, baby.
Oh man.
Escape prosecution from. That's the second boat reference we've brought up pretty quickly. And that's for planes, you think? And it turns out it's a robbery setup, The Last of Us style. Like he's in the QZ.
I've been on both sides.
And Shauna, she gets out. She's pissed. She didn't like this to happen. Jeff immediately, he's like, here, take the minivan. And that's the right thing to do.
She John Wicks the guy.
She does.
Oh, yeah.
She takes the gun. Well, she pushes him she like slams her body into him.
Have you ever seen
WWE style. What did you call it?
She's the heel.
No, the Shauna what?
Oh, the Shauna shakedown.
The Shauna
Shauna
shakedown. Yeah, she Shauna
She gave him the
shakedowned
old
him
Shauna
into
shakedown. You ever
seen-
the minivan.
You ever seen those
Brother.
YouTube videos of like Steven Seagal who at like age 55 like
Oh, he's
fake
like
disarming
75.
people?
Yes.
That's I don't know why, but that's what I thought of. Like just trying to like, I got your gun. Here, have it back. I got it back again.
And Jeff's just
playing with
watching
him.
this like, what the fuck? And Jeff fucks it up because she gets the gun and he starts stopping her. Like, what are you doing? And then lets the guy take the van because he'd already given him the keys, right?
Yeah.
And
Gonna get us killed over our piece of shit minivan.
I love this scene because he's like, what? It's a piece of shit car. And he's like, well, there's our quarters are in there. All our quarters.
All our quarters?
Mr. Schwoozums.
We had all 50 state quarters in there.
Now
all right,
listen,
Jeff.
that's some sentimental shit. She's definitely a Pisces. Not to steer it back to this conversation,
Confirmed.
but that's sentimental as fuck. And Pisces are insanely sentimental.
That started a whole thing on the Discord. I don't know if you got into that or not.
Oh, I don't know. But I think one thing I'll hold true is Shauna's a Pisces.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she keeps Chekhov's gun, as I called it. She puts it in her little pocket. Back to Lottie up at her camp. She tries to get Natalie to sign up for an activity and shows her the beehives. She's got.
How long do you think the waiting list is to sign up for being buried alive in the woods?
It's got to
at
be
night?
by Lottie. It's got to be a long list.
Long
Yeah.
list. Yeah,
Does she spit on you when you get out? I'm sorry. Just fire me.
preferably. Hey, if
I
you're,
mean, that's a whole night affair.
Putting my name down.
if you're Nate from Ted Lasso, you might be into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're have a podcast or something. I don't know. Whatever kind of guy you are. And then she has beehives, literal yellow jackets.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Buzz, buzz, buzzing away. Did you guys
Yellow
catch that
jackets aren't bees, though.
Are they not?
Say that
They're
again?
wolves. They're wolves.
Right?
Yeah, they're wolves. They're
Wolves?
They're wasps. Oh, like on planes, you think? Those bugs? That's the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. I loved it.
So wait, you're saying yellow jackets are wasps?
Yeah, it's a wasp.
I think he's
Which
correct.
makes sense. Yeah.
Those things are bastards. Have you ever been stung by them?
No. I
Yes.
don't want to be.
Sucks.
I've got some on my porch right now, and I don't want
Ooh.
to. No, we're coexisting.
But
Oh,
are
okay.
they carpenter bees?
No,
No,
they're waspy boys.
wasps.
They're not yellow jackets, though. You're right, Steve. That blows my mind. So then what's this bees symbolism going on right now? This symbology.
Well, I think it's what Lottie says, where she says in winter they cluster around the queen.
And she's the
much
queen.
Yeah.
They clustered around her.
And then
I wish I would have heard Lisa like 100 yards away go, yas, queen.
you know there's sound bites of that somewhere.
Yes.
But yeah, then they say Lottie talks about how the queen's once the new queen bee is chosen, she kills the other queens.
Stings all the other unborn queens to
Yeah.
death.
And then there was like sinister B-roll of queens or queen bees killing each other.
And I can see why you like them is what Natalie says. Do you think that's foreshadowing? It's kind of weird to call it foreshadowing because we're talking
Yeah.
about events in the past we haven't seen yet, but that Lottie takes people out that challenge her throne.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
I think we'll get there eventually because we can already see people kind of glomming on to Lottie, except for like one or two people. And I can only imagine what's going to happen to those one or two people who deign to
Yeah.
say no to Lottie.
Well, I think we see a little bit of the separation of these two groups at the end of
Yeah,
the
but the people that
episode.
stand up to Lottie are still alive. It's Natalie and Taissa.
Oh, for now.
Natalie, Ty, and Shauna's kind of like the deal breaker of like either side.
She's
really.
like the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
But did you guys see the rune symbol on top of the beehive?
I did, yeah.
It was really quick. So I was like, I put a question mark on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and I think I've said this before, but to me, the rune looks like a bee.
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's
It's kind of like a Rorschach thing, though. Like to me,
to me.
it's a dick and balls and a trumpet.
To me, it's a hanger.
I love Steve.
To me, it's Glenn Close.
But Glenn Close in the movie Hook.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Because it's got that little hook.
Hillbilly elegy. Dead on.
Oh shit.
Back in 1996, Natalie gathers Jackie's remains. And Lottie's there to be like, you're doing the right thing, which is not helpful.
Yeah.
Take some tea.
Yeah. Do you want some of my blood tea? I peed in it too. It's good for you.
Okay, Midsummer.
And then, yeah.
I took some of the poop out of the pea bucket
No.
and brewed some moonshine. Here you go.
No.
And then, I'm sorry, imagery. Travis is like a douche about it too, because in that situation, I'm going with you. That's no, absolutely not. You're not doing this by yourself. This is awful.
You want me to come with you? You want me to come? Should I come?
I gotta wait for this boner Lottie gave me to kind of chill out, but I'll go with you if you want.
I'm popping boners and I'm eating well. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to mess this up.
I got
a good thing going right now.
I've got a bunch of shit going on, but I could cancel some of it maybe. If you wanted
if
me
you
to.
really want me to. I mean, I don't want to cramp your style, but
Oh, you're good? All right.
sweet.
Boner's back on.
Where are
He
those
slams the door.
Playboys?
Yeah, that's what's going on. So she ends up going alone. Shauna watches through the window, and then there's fucking Lottie again. Like she just pops up.
It's what she would have wanted.
Hello. Your house smells nice today, Shauna. I pooped in the bucket. She just backs away.
Honestly, I still want to know who did that.
Yeah, I do
that
too.
will piss me off.
I saw the cast arguing about it.
Oh, really?
Like I don't think we ever get a confirmation of who that was. Like each cast member had a different theory.
I think it's Misty. I really think
A lot of
it's
people
Misty.
said it was Misty.
Well, she broke the transponder or whatever thingy.
Sure.
I don't know why that connection made me think that she pooped in the bucket. But I
The only type of person who would break a plane
Exactly.
transponder would shit in a bucket.
Well,
Clearly meant for pee.
and
I think
also-
the coach guy, he's like, it was probably me. I'm the only one that has a hard time getting around out
Well,
there.
they also were forcing Misty to go out and get the water for so long because they were pissed at her for the
Tea.
shroom thing, and so I think maybe this was a way to
vindictive poo.
Yeah,
A vindictive
a
poo.
revengeful poo.
Nothing smells worse than a vengeful poo.
Yeah.
Spiteful. God, what's an S word for poo?
Shit.
Damn.
A sinister shit is what that was.
There we go.
Yeah, throw the
Shit.
alliteration.
I was reaching way too deep there. Shit was right
A
there.
malignant movement.
Yes.
Oh gosh. But anyway, yeah. I think Misty shit in the bucket.
I agree with you. I'm liking this Misty shit theory. But Shauna, Lottie pops up out of nowhere like a creeper. It's what she would have wanted for the baby. The baby. The baby. Which is kind of wild of her to say, like, is it good for the baby? I guess any food when you have none is good for the baby. And then Shauna says heartbreakingly, what if I, and Lottie says, you won't hurt the baby. The writers have told us it's fine. And then so she's worried. She's thinking, what if we eat this baby?
What if I have a chicken baby?
This baby's probably delicious.
Or a burger.
Chicken baby.
That's true. That little thing she had about giving birth to a rotisserie, like this has been on her mind for a while.
If we are jumping into theories, I think the baby's not going to survive the birth, if I'm being honest. That went really sad really quickly, but I don't know. I don't see the baby surviving, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to go cry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I think you're probably right, but I would
Yeah.
prefer it was like this demon of the forest that we see again someday.
I could see it coming out and it's just like this like grotesque like alien baby type thing. Like one of Rhaenyra Targaryen's babies, like that came out all like dragon looking, but like it's
When
just,
Scaly.
the evil of the forest has
It has like
affected it.
it has like moss on it, and,
But it's still like, love me, mommy. What if it's the man with no eyes and they're actually there's like a timey-wimey
The
thing?
guy from AFI?
Interesting.
No.
But also Lottie alludes to the baby being a boy.
Yes.
So if that is true, then the baby is not Callie.
Or the Sam Raimi spirit is going to imbue into that baby.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that when a ghost? Oh, possess. It's going to possess that baby.
I like imbue into.
And like she's going to give birth to the spirit that is trapped in the cabin.
That's what I think I saw on these message boards. Like people were saying that Forkface, Lisa, was perhaps Shauna's long lost
interesting.
baby. Shit like that. I'm just like, I don't what?
Yeah,
you
like-
guys are talking about shit like that out there?
Like I can't see a world where Shauna has a child and then. Well, also I'm sure it would have made news too that one of them had a kid coming back.
Oh, they kept that shit under wraps. Like we also 8 people. Didn't tell that to anybody.
I guess that's true.
We just found this baby
They
in the woods.
theorized.
He's super cool.
No. I'm 100% the baby did not return to America with them, right? To Jersey. What if he's just on he's with Snooki somewhere? Like, yeah, that's what's wrong with him. He was born in the woods, that's why he's on that.
Is this the origin story for the situation?
They call him the situation now. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yes, Lottie spills the beans that the baby's a boy. And I think up to this point, we can trust everything that Lottie says. I feel like narratively. So I think Javi's alive and Shauna's baby will be a boy. And Mari gets excited. Like, baby shower? Ooh. And all of the girls start excitedly planning a baby shower.
Their tummies are full. They don't have a care in the world anymore. They can just have a little party now.
Baby shower.
So back in 2021, fucking Randy, he's in the boat, right? And he snitches on Jeff immediately because he thinks Walter's
about Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. I'll tell you what he did right now. I don't
Right
care.
now, right here now. I don't even like
My
that
life
guy.
sucks. My wife's name's Melissa. I haven't seen her in months.
Important to note that Misty was upset with Walter that Randy is his witness because Misty's like, he will know who I am. I went to school with him. So she goes into the bathroom.
Now he's not listening to who.
Oh, okay, well,
It's a whole thing.
how does it feel?
It hurts.
But she's on the earpiece, giving him telling him what to say and all that stuff. Hit him. It's so good.
She called out that it's referred to that process being Cyrano. Is that? I didn't catch that.
That's a play.
Cyrano, yeah.
Cyrano,
Shakespeare.
excuse
More
me.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
They just redid the movie, or redid.
With,
not redid. They adapted it with
with
Peter Dinklage.
Petey
Did you see it? Petey Dinky?
No, I did not watch that. I saw the trailer
just
for
whisper
that and was just like,
Petey
nope.
It's not supposed to be sexual.
I don't know. Peter Dinklage is a sexual being.
No, that man.
That
Yes.
man is
He's
a
hot.
sexual being.
Steve, calm down. You're pulling a Travis.
Popping boners and I'm well fed.
You weren't supposed to speak to it. It was just supposed to.
You can't tee me up and I'm not.
Thanks for
Come
the
on.
subtlety.
That's
you mean
not
a
what
boner?
the show is.
But yes, she's whispering stuff to him to like speak her, enact her will. And pretty quickly she's like, hit him. And he's like, hold on, I have IBS, to go meet her in the bathroom. And then he's like, okay, you're right. She's like, I know him. And he will only respond to bad cop, right?
He made Joe Frazio eat a frog during recess.
Okay, and then, God, Elijah Wood, I love that man so much. If this goes south, my attorney has instructions. I love, that's my kind of humor. I was rolling.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and slaps the shit out of Randy, which I love.
Jack slaps him.
Boom. Twice.
I do like that they're hung up on like, where's Nat? Where's Nat? What happened to Nat? You were staying at the same place she was at. And he's like, oh, I thought this was about Jeff. I don't know anything about Nat. I don't know, she's doing drugs.
Doing drugs or something. I don't know. Randallberry. Back in 1996, Taissa and I think it was Aquila are making a bassinet, and they're talking about Aquila's nephew and how she misses him. Mari's over there making a stabby mobile. It's a real stabby one for the baby.
That's what those are called. I in my notes, I was like, Mari's making
Mobile.
whatever those things are above the crib. I couldn't think of what they were called.
Dangly baby things.
Yeah. And then Van, I forget what she says exactly, but she clearly is not into the whole kid thing.
Mari hears some drip, drip, drip.
Yeah, they hear some dripping. Or it's Mari that does, but nobody else hears it, right?
What's that about?
I think it is foreshadowing something.
In particular, you have an idea what is foreshadowing?
I think Mari is the one that gets, I think Mari's
She pooped in the bucket?
I think Mari's pit girl.
Really?
Yeah.
She does fit the description, like from what we saw.
Yeah.
That's
But
a badass name too.
well,
Pit girl.
pit girle, yeah. Well, she's also, no one else
She's
is
finna be
here.
in the pit.
No one. That's just me at the Paramore concert.
I'm so jealous. How many tickets did you get?
2. I have the other one.
Who's going? Your mom?
No, my friend. Sorry.
Suzanne would love to go.
Suzanne's going. We're gonna camp out. But no, it's interesting that she's hearing this and they made a point to acknowledge that she's the only one that's hearing this dripping.
It's true.
Which is just weird in itself. So
And we get a little time with Crystal and Misty too.
Yeah.
And I think Misty suggested that they turn the rest of Jackie into a broth, right? Is that what was going on there?
yeah.
And Crystal was like, I like that idea. They should have respected that idea. And then Crystal, with one of the best lines in the episode, that wasn't the first time I've eaten a person. Don't tell anybody. And then, so it's like pause, and we're all like, what?
What?
I absorbed my twin in the womb, right? Like,
It's like
Misty's like, yes.
Rhoda Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
Loved that.
And then
I feel like I'm channeling her on stage.
and then they get an idea for what Misty can give Shauna for a gift for the baby shower. And then the coach, he returns. He's hungry. You hear his belly rumbling. He's got scary visions of hungry bitches all around him.
I think he envisioned Jen foaming at the mouth.
It was one of the newer ladies, right?
I think it was Jen. And she's like foaming at the mouth, crawling on all fours.
That was scary.
Yeah.
And then he has more memories of his boyfriend, Paul. And they get into kind of a fight because we find out that Paul really wanted him to move in. And remember, Coach isn't hip to coming out yet, right? Like he's still very much closeted. And so he's stalling on moving in. And he's like, I thought you said those girls were vicious little monsters. And I love that. I mean, that's very much on purpose that those words were chosen, right? Because now he's dealing with the girls being literal vicious monsters. And they have a fight about him not being willing to. And I love Paul's stance on this, where he's like, you're 100% correct. You have every right to not subject yourself to this many life changes and the dangers that it presides. But I have every right to want to be with somebody who wants to be with me fully, right?
Yeah.
So he says it in a very calm, like standing up for himself way. I was like, damn, Paul.
You go, Paul.
Looking cute.
You deserve that.
Your self-awareness.
You deserve that, buddy.
We cut to Natalie trekking through the deep snow to the wreckage to drop off Duffalo Jackie. And she has like a monologue saying goodbye to Jackie. You're lucky, like you don't have to deal with all this shit. We're eating you and stuff. I don't know if you know that, Jackie. I'm
Things
glad
are
I didn't
about to
write the
get a lot
monologue.
worse.
You were
sorry for what you did. Everyone gets to be jealous of you one last time.
Yeah. R.I.P. Jackie.
That's such a good line. Everybody's going to be jealous of you one last time. And then Natalie sees a giant fucking moose. Is that a moose or an elk?
It was white moose.
White moose.
That's the actual name for it. I looked it up.
A white moose.
A white moose.
And she misses, and then the moose charges, almost tips the plane wreck over. And by the time she reloads, it's gone. And she could have fed everybody.
I know. I was like, come on, girl.
Wait, you never miss. Now's not the time.
I feel like that's going to be Nat's white whale for the rest of the season.
Oh, like a Moby Dick?
Yeah, like she's going to be like, there's a giant white moose, guys. Let's go get it. That could feed us forever. We don't have to eat us ourselves anymore.
That's Captain Ahab.
That's her white moose.
Back in 2021, Randy's upset because he's being slapped by an FBI agent. He thinks, and he's like, I'm answering, stop hitting me. And then Walter pulls out what I think is a Dremel tool, but it's like a little grinder thing. It's and threatens to use that on him. And he says, look, he saw the purple people.
I just love how he's like, I'm on international waters. No, we're not.
You're in the marina.
Yeah.
There's hangars out there that look like, I think, for planes. That was so cute. Like for planes, you think? But he saw Lottie's peeps. I forget the color that she called, like her hippo purple. And he's like, and they were drinking
heliotrope?
Fanta. Heliotrope.
Oh, heliotrope. Yeah.
And he says that they were buying drinks out of the soda machine. That's important later.
They drink all the Fanta, Chris.
Fanta.
All the Fanta.
But was it orange Fanta or grape Fanta?
Had to be orange.
I don't know.
Would it be grape?
Are you
It could be grape. It could be grape because they're all about that heliotrope.
Don't you want Fanta? Remember that commercial with the movies?
Don't be coming at me for liking grape Fanta.
I just didn't peg you for a grape.
Grape is amazing.
I love grape.
Yeah.
I didn't peg you for a Jimmy. Oh, whoa. I didn't even know that shit was on the table.
Who the is Jimmy?
Back in 96, Crystal is doing some acting coaching with Misty. She says, we're made of lies. I thought that was an interesting thing to say, being as how they interact on their day-to-day. Van falls asleep and Taissa, quote unquote, wakes, but it's not, it's sleepy tea.
Sleepy time tie.
But I interpreted that as Van waiting until Taissa fell asleep. Or waiting until Ty tried to sleepwalk.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think she was still trying, Van was trying to stay awake in order to.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like standing watch.
Yeah.
To see what goes on here. And she straight up, and this is the first time we've seen her transition like this, I think, where she sits up straight and starts to calmly untie. It's just a fully conscious person. It's clearly not somebody sleepwalking. It's an entirely different personality.
Yeah.
And she says Van can come because Van's like, I'll just untie you if you can let me follow you. And she's like,
you're cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're cool.
Deal. And then she's able to ask her questions and stuff. How do you know where you're going? He shows me. Who shows you? The one with no eyes. And then she says she's not Taissa. And then who are you? And then she takes her straight to the rune, the symbol on the tree. And that's where Taissa wakes up.
Which can I say, this is the first time that another person is acknowledging the symbol.
I know, that's been driving you nuts.
In the 96 version, it's the first time someone besides Lottie has acknowledged that symbol.
I think you're correct.
Yeah. I had to point that
and
out.
It's a person that's not real. It's a malevolent, possessed person.
Yeah.
And Lottie.
Yes.
Well, Van technically too, because she's like, how did you know about this?
Yes.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
But only because she was forced to. We don't talk about triangle circle.
We don't talk about triangle circle, man.
We don't talk about Glenn Close. No. From Hillbilly Elegy. That movie hasn't come out yet.
I was going to say, of all the pantheon of Glenn Close's career, you keep bringing up Hillbilly Elegy.
I think my sense of humor is such that because it's obscure, it's funny. You can't just go straight to Cruella.
Hillbilly Elegy is obscure.
Why not?
You can't have your cake and eat it too, Steve. Is it a well-known Glenn Close movie or is it a weird one to bring up out of her pantheon? Because you're trying to have both right now.
I could go with 101 Dalmatians.
That's what I'm saying. That would be low-hanging fruit.
I could go with
that's like thinking. Hook. That's like the plane, the hangars thing, but for Glenn Close movies. Dumb.
Okay, a fair point. I concede to you.
See how I made fun of myself and you at the same time?
Yeah, that's why I'm
very impressive. It's very impressive.
You're like, I'm mad, but He threw himself in there. 2021, Jeff's working out at the gym. He's trying to get swole because his wife
banging
bored, right? Riding way better.
Think about that.
That's how I took it. Maybe that's it.
That's a good.
Yeah, he can't get that strawberry lube, so he's gonna just get some gains.
Get some jacked.
Think I'm boring.
Get jacked.
Missionary, whatever.
Are these biceps boring? Pow!
I fucked you in the
How about
studio.
these glutes? Bang!
Buried his body.
I was looking at meatball face the entire time.
So then he sees Kevin, the cop, with a Y.
I've always been sexually attracted to Pizza Hut.
Backwards hat.
You know, gym life.
Gym life.
And he said too much pre-workout powder. Testosterone's pumping.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still using the machine, right?
I love that.
And I think this scene
Not done.
This scene is sad because we did so much work like really liking Jeff as a character, and he's not handling himself well in this scene. In fact, my note is Jeff is dumb as shit.
Yeah, he's completely blowing
Yeah,
all of it.
That makes a really bad look for the cop, right?
He's trying to defend Shauna in his own way.
He is,
but he's biffing it.
He's doing an awful job.
Yes, he's biffing it.
One of my favorite little pieces of acting from the scene is when he goes up to Kevin. He's like, "I love Shauna. I know her. I trust her. Unconditionally." Like he doesn't know the word for unconditionally.
Yeah.
It's a great scene, honestly. And my choice cuts, I had like 11 to choose from. So many little things that I loved, but this is a great scene. Mm-hmm. And Kevin's just like honest with him, like which is unprofessional, right? Hey man, we think she might have killed him, but also she's cheating on you, you know? Like, what? You can't say that. And Jeff's like, no.
Sorry you had to find out this way.
No.
Sorry, not sorry.
But also, I mean, Kevin knows him. They went to high school together.
Yeah, and I
think there's a level of,
like small town vibes there, maybe. Yeah. Like, hey man, brosif.
Bruh.
Listen.
Potato chips. And they go back and forth for a really long time.
Brosif Goebbels.
Yes. Bro Montaigne. Shauna takes an Uber to get her van back. That's a good scene.
And the guy's like, are you sure?
This is the Shauna shakedown.
Are you sure you want to be dropped off here? And Shauna's like, yeah, it's fine.
It's
fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got some orange slices for the boys in there.
And that's one of her moves. And she's at the chop shop, right? And she holds the guy at gunpoint and he's unperturbed. He's one of those guys like, you see this in movies a lot. It's a trope where it's like, you can point a gun at a man, but can you pull the trigger? Can you watch as the bullet penetrates my 7 layers of epidermis through one of my organs? I don't know which ones they are. I'm not an anatomy expert.
That's why I do a chop shop.
Yeah.
You know how like whenever you're out and about and you just key in on people's conversations at the wrong moment and it's like, what are they talking about? That's this dude. Because when she walks into his office, he's on the phone with, I assume, his girlfriend or somebody that's of interest to him sexually. Because he's like, listen, I love sleeping over, but your cat is disgusting.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I just was like, interesting.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that line.
Listen, babe, I love sleeping over, but your cat, filthy.
Disgusting, man.
It shits in a box. Have some self-respect.
Gets the litter in my food.
Oh, he's like a real Jersey guy. Have some self-respect.
Hey. Go outside and shit in the bushes like a regular animal.
Yeah, like a raccoon or something.
Hey, don't think I don't see you licking yourself in the corner.
You remind me of my buddy's situation. He was born in the woods. He couldn't help it.
He couldn't help it. He's got some real mama issues.
Anyway, speaking of mom, here she is. And then she says, have you ever peeled the skin off a human corpse? Takes forever, right? And he's like, okay, this is a little fucked up. This is not where I saw this going.
Or seeing the look in people's eyes right before they die. That's the one.
That's the look, right? She goes full man with no name. It's like this becomes a Tarantino movie real quick.
Oh yeah.
And because he said, hey, your hand's shaking. That's how I know you're not going to shoot me. Which first off is dumb. It's the scared people that will pull the trigger, right? For one, because they're freaking out. Yeah. They're not making rational decisions. But also, she says, my hand was shaking because of how badly I want to do this, right? Mm-hmm. And Madison, did you take that to be, what's the word, a confession from Shauna or her manipulating him? Do you think part of her really, like she was struggling to not kill him, that she enjoys that act? And I
didn't think so. I think it was an act, or maybe like it's a halvesy truth. I don't know. I didn't dwell on that idea too long. But I think the pulling the skin off the dead body part was pretty
graphic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Steve? You have any thoughts on that? How you read this scene?
Oh, I just thought it was super cool. Like you could tell I felt as though she really did want it. Like she was just like, ooh, I'm jonesing to kill a dude. Oh boy, here I go killing again.
Yeah.
You know, she is, you know, rabbits just don't do it for her anymore. She needs to peel the skin off a human being now. And what a better way than this guy who thinks cats are disgusting.
That's
Well,
true.
I mean, I guess there could be the truth of her wanting to kill this guy. Because, I mean, in every instance where she's had the opportunity to kill an animal, she has.
Yes.
And she was about to chop up Jackie, so yeah.
What
I
if
think so.
She wants to you think she wants to kill him, put makeup on him, and hang
Probably.
out with him?
Probably. Some Buffalo Bob shit right there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I want to see that
She
spin off
runs
too.
the chop shop for him.
But it's just, I also can't see her rationally doing it either. Like, I think the desire is there. I think feeding into this savagery that she experienced when she was a teenager, but also I don't think that she could rationally do it.
Well, she does withhold herself. She takes her
Yeah.
minivan keys and goes back. But at the same time, I do think that all of these events have unlocked something that she's been pushing back in her. And she's a hankering for it. She craves murder like I do Starburst jelly beans. That's what my theory is. Because those things are fucking delicious.
They are delicious.
Thank you.
I love
Kindred
those.
Spirit.
Love those.
Only once a year do they open the tomb and get them out.
Now it's empty because I ate them all.
Get them while you can, buddy.
Yeah.
Back in 96, there's more Paul, but this time it's heartbreaking. The coach is imagining the scene of what if he had decided not to go on the trip with the girls. He would have moved in with Paul and stayed back and saw the plane crash on TV, just like the girl who got her shin broken or whatever. I'm a little confused by this because he gave all the condoms to Travis, which is to say that he planned on fucking Paul when he got to Seattle, but Paul lives in New Jersey.
Maybe they were technically broken up.
And he was going to get some strange?
Yeah, and he was just going to go out and
Dang.
strange his feelings away.
Dang. So the next scene, Shauna receives her gifts. It's a little baby shower. We see it happening. Van gives her a changing TP, a pea catcher.
Catching TP.
What is that?
I don't think it's a thing.
Okay.
Catching TP?
It's like a diva cup for baby pee, I guess.
No, it's like if you're changing a diaper or something, if it's a boy, to stop the pee from getting on you, you put the TP on the little baby
it's like
parts.
a little hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little hat. It's a little hat.
Yes, but that's
I have one of those.
Who's a big man?
Mine's a top
Who's
hat.
a big man
No,
with his little teeth?
Kyle's mom. Go
That's
away.
me. I'm back.
I hate you.
Aw, but I love
You're
you.
my least favorite guest on
I
this
made
show.
you a catching TP.
You want some Chaka Japan
You make me- no.
Chucky panties?
Oh my goodness.
I do want some of those. And then we get
Frightening.
Misty's gift, which is a monologue from Steel Magnolias.
Yes. 100 times yes.
I paused my TV. I debated skipping it, honestly, because I suffer from secondhand embarrassment.
Oh,
I
no.
cannot
You've
watch.
told me about this.
I cannot watch stuff like this. I was like, I don't know if I can watch this.
Joke's on you. She fucking crushes
Yes,
it.
you did.
Nailed
I'm
it.
glad I watched
She
it.
killed it.
Oh my god.
Honestly,
I just love how
Samantha,
she starts and then they're all like, she chose a scene about a dead
I
daughter.
know. Oh
but
my
Sammy
God.
Hanratty too. Like, it's funny that Misty kills it, but like
She kills it.
Samantha
does
crushed
kill
it.
it,
Like, it's
yeah.
a great scene.
Well, and Melanie Linsky called it out on her Instagram of Samantha Hanratty's performance of the Steel
really?
Magnolia monologue. Yeah, she posted about it on her Instagram.
it is good.
It is good.
And then this is where Travis checks on the coach. He's like, "What's up, man? I tell you about all the boners I get. What's your problem?" You
get-
said.
Hey, you get boners too?
Or is this just me?
Just me. I know you're not well fed, but I want to know if you're getting boners too.
Van made me this little hat to hide my boners.
She made several size ones.
And Misty crushing it. Everybody claps. Like everybody really enjoys it.
Yeah.
Like they're all kind of floored. She's back in their good graces.
Yeah, they start laughing when she starts doing the monologue, and then there's like a moment where they're all completely
Initially, it's jarring.
yes, and then there's a scene where they pan on all of the young women's faces, and they're just like encapsulated by her performance. Which
This is like the true birth of theater. Like think about it. Like there's no TV.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised it's taking them this long to get to this point.
Like to do theater and stuff.
Yeah, or just to like entertain themselves with performing.
Anything other than murder.
Yeah, yeah.
And I assume creeping on Natalie and Travis.
Yeah. Or the Stone Age TV.
Stone Age TV, watching the flames.
Yeah.
That show on.
Great scene. Back in 2021, Taissa's in the hospital room again. This time we finally see the mirror trick trope. We talked about it last week where I was like, did the reflection not move? And I couldn't tell that it did because there was like a triple reflection.
It definitely did.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, she moved and the reflection didn't because it was staring at her.
Like the Don't Worry Darling thing. That's what I was trying to think of, the Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
You didn't see that movie, but
I didn't see that movie, but yeah.
you saw the trailer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It happened in the trailer.
I saw when Chris Pine got spat on.
Oh, yeah.
The controversy.
Harry S. But yeah, the mirror, they really go all out on this one. I mean, that motherfucker just stares forever.
Yeah.
It's not like a hint of a thing. In fact,
Blatant.
all the way until Taissa turns back around and goes, they have a conversation. Yeah. But did you see anybody read lips?
Yeah, it's the reflection said, "Go to her.
Go to her.
Go to her."
Go to her.
Interesting.
Is the reflection a huge like romantic film? Like go to her. And then we get a scene of Ty like running to the airport to stop Van from getting on the plane.
Oh my gosh. I hope so. I think that's what the reflection is alluding. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
because it did like a thing to obscure its face. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I saw that. Like the symbol with the
wait.
hands on the eyeball.
Kind of, I thought it was mimicking the bandages that Van had when she
Can't do
got
this.
eaten. Oh, what? Oh,
One of these.
Chris has spectacles on. Oh, Madison has
I'm
spectacles
doing
on
the
now
same
too.
thing. Wait.
But did you?
This thing.
I took that to mean he's watching you because it's like the symbol with an eyeball. That's how I took it. I thought that was really cool, like gang sign they came up with on the fly, though. I like it.
And then she did blood, like
It's random. Weird.
So what does that mean? But also the go to her. Who is her?
Lottie?
Is it Van? Is it Lottie?
Go to
She
her.
calls the Jessica Roberts character when she leaves the bathroom. So I was
Does she?
yeah, she calls Jessica. She pulls out her phone and she calls Jessica Roberts.
But she did.
But yeah, we don't actually see her talk to her or find out that she did.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she may not be dead.
We assume she did.
She could have just OD'd and that someone could have like Narcaned her.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's just in rehab somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unwillingly.
Yeah.
But she takes the car from her assistant. You know, she's like, give me your car.
Give.
And for some reason, she's like, okay, I love this job. And we cut to
Really glad to be a part of it.
Misty and Walter, and they start to discuss the Purple People lead. And then finally, they think they're like at a dead end with that stuff, right? But then finally, Misty,
I've got Mountain Dew. I've got Tahitian Treat.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
Those are his
The
drinks.
suggestion of drinks. And she's like, oh my God.
the credit card
The
Fanta.
Fanta.
And so I got
Oh, I don't
Tahitian
have
treat.
Fanta.
Is Tahitian treat that one that's like a Hawaiian Punch knockoff?
I think so.
Or it's a knockoff to me. It might be just a different brand.
Yeah,
I'm not
Hawaiian
sure.
Punch might be a knockoff Tahitian Treat.
No, Hawaiian Punch and knockoff never go in the same sentence unless you're talking about Tahitian treat. But yeah,
Tahitian Treat is jam-packed with bold, fruity flavor, but contains no caffeine.
Okay.
thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
And then he asks her about downvoting the Adam Martin post. Why she's doing that? Because he looks up to her, right? Like those are some solid ass posts. Why are you downvoting those? And she acts, right? Duh. We just saw how great she was at
Yeah.
acting. And she starts to tell him, oh, I have this, I don't want to hurt, I know the guy, or I knew his mom
I
or
know his
something.
mom, I'm friendly with his mom.
Yeah.
He was on drugs.
And then she asks about Svetlana. which alluding to his mother. And he's like, oh, no, this is some lady that lives in my building. She was going to get evicted anyway. And so he's got the money. He's independently wealthy.
Yeah.
And has decided, and I love this line. I cannot tell you guys how much I love the show Sherlock on the BBC.
You been watching the BBC?
Are you a big Sherlock fan as well?
I enjoy Sherlock, yeah.
I have Sherlocked from time to time.
Well, okay, I haven't seen the Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, but I've watched the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, those are
movies.
good movies. There's underrated Guy Ritchie films for sure. But I love the show with the Cumberbatch. And he looks at Misty and he says, I'm a bored Moriarty looking for my Sherlock. And she's like turned on by that. She's like very flattered, right? Yeah.
But those are enemies.
They are, which is weird, but they're like frenemies. They're like Batman and Joker, kind of like
they feed off of each other's intelligence.
You were the only one that excites me. I love our banter, right? Our back and forth. You're the only competition I could possibly have, kind of thing. And I think she likes it. Like, oh shit. And that's what I mean about like the spinoff. I love that dynamic with it. I love it. And then we go
What just happened to you?
I just loved it too much.
Oh.
Shauna
making noises.
Shauna gives Mr. Swoozums to Callie. And jokes on Jeff, who made fun of her because she hasn't liked that thing since he was 6 years old, right? Callie cuddles it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
And that was
Here's
like
Mr. Smoochums.
that was the most Callie that Steve could take. She almost woke up.
Oh, that's my preferred amount of Callie.
He pulled the
I
remote
got
out.
scared when she like shuffled to hug Mr.
Exactly.
Scrooge, like, just stay asleep, stay asleep, stay asleep. Oh, thank God.
You're like Van watching Taissa.
It's happening.
And then asks about Van. Why did I say that?
The minivan.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jeff comes home and asks, like, how the heck did the minivan get back?
Yeah, and she's like,
Well,
I got it back, motherfucker.
and then
Motherfucker.
she channels Samuel L. Jackson.
I want this hard ass, super cool Shauna.
I just want WWE Raw Shauna to just fuck everyone's shit up.
I wish she used her New Zealand accent. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
The cream rises to the top,
I got the van.
and that's going to be. I went to the shop and I said, hey, listen here. Listen here, you jailhouse turkey. I'm going to take this van.
Sorry about your cat.
Sorry about your cat.
Your girlfriend's cat.
Sorry about your cat.
Sorry about your cat. Should probably tell your girlfriend to clean the cat.
And then I like we just fondly trail off. Walter gets a location on the credit card, and it's in New York.
New York.
It's New York. Hey.
It's in New York.
I'm Carlton here. There's purple people. There's a bridge named that in the Cincinnati area.
The Purple People Bridge.
We walk
You mess
on
with
it.
the purple people, you mess with all of us.
And we cut back to more purple people therapy. Natalie's wearing purple now. Some of it, like she has more of her civvy
She
clothes
has
on
like
than other
a
people.
cardigan just draped over her. It's not even.
She gets up and she's like, just
You couldn't
plops it off.
be more visually indicative that she's only partially involved, right?
Yeah.
And but she is somewhat involved.
Slowly getting there.
And they ask, she asks her to process something with the group. She makes Lisa, the fork face, join and gives fork face a fork to stab Natalie back with. But instead, she hugs her and says, "I understand. I forgive you."
Well, Lottie's like really channeling Emperor Palpatine in the scene, like, let your anger flow through you. Strike her down with it.
Yes,
Join the dark side.
indeed.
Your hate has made you powerful.
Charlotte.
Rise.
And then in 1996, she gives her her last gift is from Lottie, Shauna's last gift at the baby shower. And it's a quilt, but it's got the rune on it. And everybody's kind of offended, except for Van. There's a couple of supporters of Lottie. They're like, oh, I get it. And she thinks that symbol has protected us, right? I think it's Natalie that has a very good retort. Like the guy used the symbol to protect himself. And Natalie's like, he's fucking dead. Like, it didn't work if that's what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair. And then Shauna's nose bleeds all over the quilt. They hear thudding. Birds, it's the end of, well, I don't want to spoil another movie, but there's a very famous movie that I love that ends with a lot of things falling from the sky and animals and such. But this time it's dead birds.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Yes. Thank you.
Not to spoil.
How'd you
Sorry.
know-
I'm sorry.
not to spoil the meatballs fall. There's dead birds everywhere. And then Lottie says, somebody says, don't touch them. They could have
I think it's Misty that says don't touch them.
what disease can they have? Rabies or some shit?
Or no,
I doubt it's rabies.
It wasn't Misty.
Taissa, maybe?
Misty's like, oh, the iron in the ground must have made them lose.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Their navigational beaks. Man, you're dumb.
Yeah.
GPS?
Go
What
act.
the fuck?
Actors are dumb.
Go act.
Go back to acting.
But Lottie says, gather its blessings. So they're going to eat the birds?
I think so.
Oh, I thought they were just going to give it to the stump.
Which I interpreted the nose bleeding onto the rune on the quill was like this sacrificial, like,
It wants blood.
yeah. Well, then that happened, and then the birds all fell, and now they have food.
I hope they eat them. Because if they're
They
going to eat
fucking
Jackie, but not the
better.
fucking birds, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Why would they not eat the birds?
Little quails. And the antlers framed behind Lottie's head on the porch. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't.
Such a good shot. She was
Darn
like
it.
right there. Right there.
She is the antler
And
queen.
they also showed something watching from the attic.
What?
Like the camera, well, not from their point of view, but it went to the attic looking down through that window. It was just a static camera shot, but it's like, I thought it was supposed to be
But there's always
the
a spirit
spirit.
up there, yeah.
Shit, I need to go back. I did not catch that at all.
I feel like it was the spirit.
Sam Raimi.
Back in 2021, Lottie has a vision that all of her bees are dead and she's weeping over this bloody hive, right? But she finds out.
Global warming, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of her acolytes approaches and she snaps out of it and sees that all the bees are fine. But before that, she says, Il veut de sang, right? Which means
He wants blood.
he wants blood. What language is that?
French. This is what Lottie was repeating when they did the seance in the attic.
Oh, because the guy was French Canadian. That's right.
Yeah.
Gustave.
But more importantly, the bees are okay.
Yes, for
They're
now.
fine, guys.
That's
makes
the
me-
end of episode 3. The episode I thought, without anybody else's ideas or help, was the best so far.
Real trailblazer.
Which brings us to our choice cuts, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode.
Num, num, num.
Madison, start us off with your number 3.
My number 3 was the interrogation scene with Walter and Randy and Misty feeding Walter directions on how to interrogate Randy. It was a really fun play. And also the first time we meet Walter in his entirety as a character and just how well he meshed in with Misty. It was a really fun scene, super playful, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Steve?
My number 3 is Nat's RIP to Jackie in the plane. I thought that was a really touching moment between characters that actually shouldn't really like each other, based off what Jackie does right before she passes and, steals Travis from her, right? But Nat is giving Jackie her flowers. She's saying like, hey, you're lucky. Things are going to get a lot worse. And who knows, maybe, sorry we did that to you, but maybe that's what's going to make us survive this winter. So thank you. And I just thought that was oddly touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I was literally just taking that off my list, Natalie's goodbye to Jackie. So I'm so glad that you had it on yours because it pained me. But I had to make room for the Shauna shakedown.
Yeah.
Oh.
At my number 3, and I considered giving Sophie Thatcher the buzzworthy again because I really do love that scene, Steve. Thanks for putting that in there. But the Shauna shakedown, I love
That
it.
shit was wild.
Melanie Linsky being a sweet homemaker that's will fucking kill you tickles me to no end. And this is one of the best examples of that. I loved it so much. Madison, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the Shauna shakedown. Completely going Buffalo Bob on that guy's ass.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, so that whole scene, again, I alluded to it at the very beginning of this episode, but I think that is probably one of my favorite scenes of Shauna kind of like digesting like her.
Digestif.
Yes. Kind of feeding into her savagery and acting on it. And then also shout out to her Rambo moment earlier.
Yes.
With Jeff when the guy was trying to steal the van. I thought that was fun as well.
I got your gun. I've got your gun again.
Her Steven Seagal moment.
Yeah.
Steve, you're number 2?
My number 2 is the Shauna shakedown.
Hell yeah.
Just a really fun scene. Melanie Linsky is always crushing it. Always, I just really love the jitteriness of her performance because she's usually so like straight face and ice cold, but like in this one, she was actually shaking. You could see just, if she's to believe like how badly she wanted, like she was jonesing to kill this guy.
Yeah,
and it's always fun to see her, be a badass and, the real Shauna busting through the shell of the mask of the day-to-day Shauna. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
My number 2 is the interview with Randy.
Nice.
But not because of fucking Randy. Of course. It's,
Why?
No.
Who?
It's Walter. It's my guy, Elijah Wood, with Christina Ricci in the bathroom. He slaps the shit out of him. It's so funny. And I could have easily used like the Moriarty, like their little dialogue scene on the boat afterward is almost equally good. But
yeah,
I was so happy to see this interplay. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I won't do it anymore, but you guys knew it was going to be on the list. I love it so much. Yay.
Yay.
Madison,
I
you're
will
number
say
1.
I did enjoy when they were in the bathroom screaming at each other. That was really fun.
My attorney has instructions if things go south.
Yeah. And then he's like, everyone's a little crazy, right? Is that what he said? Or everybody has secrets.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. So good. But my number 1 is the very beginning when Ty forgets that they ate Jackie. And it was just, I felt like
Oh, that was good.
to immediately go into that right after the feral feast and like almost jumping into this reality of like, they fucking ate somebody. And I think Ty is this kind of sounding board for that logic of like, oh my God, like I did that. And then the trauma of like realizing, in her situation in particular, it's like, oh, did I do that? Or was like this other entity that's in my head do that? And like having to like come to terms with that. And then followed by the retching scream and the throw up. Like it just was like, wow, that jumping into this episode with that as the beginner, just to completely top off what we saw in the last episode, I thought was really, really, really good.
That is a great scene. Good call out. Because I left that off completely. Steve, your favorite moment of episode 3. My favorite episode.
My favorite moment of your favorite episode is the Misty Walter interrogation scene. It's so much fun. And, shout out to the guy who plays Randy as well. He has this just oafishness to him that is charming, but also really funny. Like when he gets slapped, he's like, what the hell, man? I'm answering your questions. Why you hitting me? And just like you believe that this guy's dumb enough not to stand up and be like, wait a minute, you can't just hit me. I'm just going to leave. He stays
He's on
there.
international waters. He better not.
He's on international waters. He stays there and takes it. And then Elijah Wood is so goddamn good in the role. Like you said it best. Like I'm just so excited to see what these two do together. And I love the whole like idea of like a Moriarty Sherlock, and maybe he's gonna catch on to who she really is and her role in Adam's missing.
Oh, 100%. He's too
murder.
Savvy to be around her.
Yeah,
but I think he's gonna dig it.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
you kill people and stuff.
He's gonna really like her. Yeah, I feel like maybe a romance. Could
I was in a plane movie with Mel Gibson when I was a
I
kid.
think so.
He's what?
It was a stupid joke. Do you guys
Say it again.
Say it louder.
I was in a plane movie with Mel Gibson when I was a kid. You guys probably never saw it, did you?
The Passion of Christ?
Yes. Mel Gibson is a pilot from like the 1940s who gets frozen in ice. And Elijah Wood literally was in this movie at like 9 years old, 10 years old, something like that. And he finds block of ice, frozen Mel Gibson, and thaws him like Encino Man style.
Oh, cool.
And then he wakes up and has to live in like the 90s. And
So, like Captain America.
Kinda, yeah, but with no powers. He's just a regular old.
He's just a dude.
He's just really racist and misogynist because he's from the 40s. And no, I mean, he's not like that. I was saying if it was
if it was real,
if it was accurate, yeah. Oh, because it's Mel Gibson.
yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Oh.
She just kept going. Oh,
No, but the guy that plays Randy is Jeff Holman.
Jeff Holman.
Jeff Holman.
That's ironic. His name is Jeff. Does he spell it like Geoff though?
No,
I bet he's
it's
one of those.
Geoff.
You know what I'm saying?
Not as cool.
My favorite moment is Misty's monologue. Before I'm gonna sign off,
I wanted to put that on there as well.
I just had to do
good.
it. I had to make room for Misty monologue.
It was good.
Love that.
But yeah, I had a long list as well. I was reordering my list of scenes.
Same.
I have tons of stuff I didn't get to include, including even Taissa's nightmare. I thought visually it was very cool. The effects were great. It was a little scary.
Yeah.
This show doesn't often scare me. Honeycombs. You guys got some?
We do, I assume. Do you have honeycombs, Madison? I know last episode we were all kind of short on them, but I got a couple this time.
I mean, there are some that we've mentioned already.
Yes, we've mentioned a few.
Like
Actually,
Cyrano,
all of Cyrano,
Steel Magnolias, obviously,
Fanta.
Rambo.
Fanta. In the beginning, I think who said that? Oh my gosh! Oh, it was Ben or Paul in the first scene mentions chillaxing.
I wrote chillax too. I was like, I don't know if that counts, but I think it does. Nobody says chillax anymore.
That's a very 90s thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever been told to chillax?
Yeah.
Have you ever been chillaxing?
I'm sure I have.
They being chill now, I think. I don't know what that is, but they say that a lot.
Dead ass.
Dead ass.
Low key.
Dead ass. Low key, yeah. You guys are, wow, so proud. My Gen Z self is so proud.
Are you gaslighting me right now?
Have I not been doing that this whole episode? I made note of the very opening where they were doing kind of like these very 90s transitions between different shots. They did kind of this like warpy matrixy transition. And then it kind of fell in line with like the VHS camcorder filtering with with Coach Ben's flashback scene with him and Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had never seen that before. And it was very interesting they did that. Yeah.
A lot of the like editing and stuff is really good in this show. I don't think it gets called out enough. But we do.
Agreed.
We're on the front lines.
And then
trenches.
Diving into music, I captured Seether.
Yeah.
Seether's such a bop.
Yeah, and it was cool because, Misty walking towards the boat.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of boat.
Yeah, what was obviously going to be a boat.
Yeah. Obviously, not a plane hanger.
No.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily a honeycomb for 90s, but the name of Walter's boat is Great Expectations.
That's a good honeycomb.
That's a good honeycomb.
Yeah. That's
what does it mean though? What's the plot of that Dickens novel?
Fuck if I know. There's so many words in it.
I only know A Tale of Two Cities. It's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words.
I know they just there's a new adaptation on Hulu, I think, with Olivia Colman.
With Olivia Colman, yeah.
Have you checked it out?
Obviously
not even know the plot.
Who's gaslighting who now? No, that's not gaslighting.
The book includes 3 stages of Pip's expectations. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to pretend I know what that means.
Yeah. Write into streamingthingspod@gmail.com.
I could, the actual summary is way too long for me to read on the
Old
show.
Chuck Dickens.
Chuck Dickens.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
But no, I think regardless of what Great Expectations actually is about, he brings up Moriarty and Sherlock, and he obviously has this hovering literature knowledge. I just thought that was very clever to have his boat named Great Expectations.
That is and he's got money.
He got money.
Pays for randos to go into lifelong nursing care.
For real.
Do you have any more, Chris?
No, that's it.
I was
surprised somebody else pulled out chillax. I was like, is this the dumbest thing I've ever done is type chillax right now?
I loved it. I have one more, and that was Walter tells, and this is also not like a 90s Easter egg, but I was picking up the reference. Walter tells Misty that he has a certain set of skills. It's obviously alluding to Taken and Liam Neeson. And then she's like, you could just say hacking, dude.
Yeah.
You can just say you hacked things.
Yeah. And then the last music thing I captured was Bells for Her by Tori Amos.
Yeah.
Which they use her music a lot.
Yeah, there was a Tori Amos song last episode, right?
Yeah, they use her music a lot.
We must have licensed the whole album. We got to use them. Burn them through.
Tori's a huge fan of the show. She's like, use my whole discography.
They said use it. Yeah.
I love your Tori Amos impersonation.
Yeah, I don't know what she sounds like other than her singing voice.
By the way, one of our listeners and patrons, were you tagged in the story? They were singing your favorite Seal song.
Oh yeah, I did
karaoke,
see that.
And I was tickled to death about
what?
that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it was Alexis.
I saw that. I think I've gotten enough of that song. Not
3
really.
times in one day.
3 times? That shit still fucking boggles my mind.
Boggles the mind.
Yeah.
So buzzworthy performances?
It's time for our buzzworthy performance. Madison. I almost called you Maddie, and that's why I had said it all weird. I said,
Whoa.
Madison. I need something. We're like friends, I need something.
Not Maddie.
Just call you when any stranger calls you?
Not Maddie, though.
Like Steve, I call him.
Big Dick.
Eve.
Yeah.
Eve. No, my best friend's name's Maddie. So we've gotten that our whole life. Anyway, but my buzz performance is Melanie Linsky, the garage peeling the skin, pointing the gun, the shaking. I just was like, that's fucking awesome. So yeah, she's my buzz
That's
performance.
a goddamn good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there were 2 correct answers this episode.
Yeah.
Melanie Linsky or my choice for buzzworthy performance, which is
Callie.
Callie's sleeping.
Why is Kyle's mom at her house?
Because I'm taking care of Callie. Obviously, her mom doesn't. She's a skank.
But no, my recipient of buzzworthy performance is Samantha Hanratty.
Mine as well.
Young Misty.
Nice.
Just for that Steel Magnolias monologue alone, it's just like bam, so good. And she's always a pleasure to watch. And I think we might have said this before, but between all the young girls and the older women, her acting I think is the best in terms of like what Christina Ricci's doing in the modern day plotline. They're just on like the same they
wavelength.
feel like the same exact person.
Yes.
More so than anyone else. Not
Yes.
that the others are doing anything bad.
No.
Like, but they are like, if you told me
Simpatico.
like, oh, they filmed a young Misty in the 90s and they're using that footage today and and now 30 years later she's doing, I would have been like, oh, that's a weird way to, how do you get funding for that? But okay, cool.
Right.
I would have believed it.
Richard Linklater shit.
Yeah, boyhood.
Girlhood.
But with cannibalism.
I chose Samantha Hanratty as well, but like I've said before, I feel like they really sidelined my girl.
Yeah.
Right. This is the heart of the show. It's Misty, right? Like, what the fuck's going
Agreed.
on? What are you doing? And this time it still wasn't enough, but like we got some, right? I think they're cooking up for something big. No pun intended.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Or was it? Am I gaslighting you? It wasn't intended pun.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
But that's all the time we have for right now. Don't forget one last time that all those shirts, if you did want one, those are going to be gone after this week. And we're not trying to hard sell again. We're just trying to let you know because some people just make plans for the future.
Yeah.
And
One more week. If you need to get one now.
And please email the show. Mike, thank you for your predictions. I did read them. And I thought when I watched the episode a couple nights ago, shit, I should have read that. So he got the credit. So I wanted to shout out to you there. So you can write in your stuff like that to streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening. We love you so much. That's all the time we have. My name is Chris.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve. The tube is empty.
And this is Streaming Things. Happy streaming.
Oh, it's April Fools, everybody. Just kidding. That was a couple days ago. But in the month of April, we've got some new patrons we want to give a shout out to because they are keeping the lights on for us over here at Streaming Things, as well as many of you who have been patrons for a very long time. So let's welcome these newcomers into our family. Our first one isn't technically new, but he did upgrade his tier to the highest tier possible of the K-Stu patron saint of Streaming Things, and that is Stanton Valentino. So thank you so much, Stanton. We also want to welcome our brand new Try Before You Deny producers, Wendy O'Laughlin, Jason Hawkins, and Matthew Emerson. Thank you, guys. Brand new to the Marty B VIP section, we have Aubrey Carell, Tyler Ashby, Alan Tomlinson, Kate Lampy, Joey Stewart, Taryn Sayre, Jesse Lay, Kashunya, Luke Dixon, Lena Anderson, and Huang Lei. Thank you guys so much. And our chocolate pudding producer sections, we got some brand newcomers. We got Crystal Wheatley, Katie, Anna Javinjo. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. Thank you to Bailey Patterson, Abby Christine Creations, Aaron, Bradley, California, Alex the Average. I think you could be pretty great, Alex, not going to lie. Lauren Daly, Sarah Podber, Richard Humphrey, Sarah Rowe, Chris Williams, Stephanie, Jose Presidio. I'm pronouncing that way wrong. I'm so sorry, Jose. Melanie Dame, Katie G, Wade, Huggy Loaf. I love that name, Huggy Loaf. And of course, the upside down Canuck. What is an upside down Canuck? Is that like a mean Canadian? I don't know. And finally, our Friends Don't Lie producers. We can't leave them hanging. We got to thank them as well. So thank you so much to Austin Sylvie, Sahiba, and Zaray Penna. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support the show. We can't do it without you. And I hope you keep enjoying these episodes.